Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's group of readings. Probably from the thumbnail you can see that we are going to be receiving messages from the Oakmen, and this is something that I know many of you have requested off and on for a little while. If you're not familiar with my channel, stay tuned and you'll understand the Oakmen a little bit better. Those of you that are familiar with the channel, this may be something that you might be quite excited to hear and receive from. To be honest, I would have loved to have heard from the Oakmen as well too, but I was not connecting with them, whether that was because of me, because of them, because of, I don't know what. It's just the messages come when the messages come. So this is the week of the Oakmen. The Oakmen are going to be speaking to each zodiac sign as we work through, and starting with Aries all the way to sweet Pisces. I will put, if you're not familiar with the Oakmen, or even if you are and you would like to kind of relive some of the readings that they have given us in the past, at the end of this reading there'll be options where you can choose another video of mine to click on, or you can choose like a series of videos that come from my video library. The Oakmen have their own library in my video assortment, so you can go right there and you can see them. The Oakmen came to us, they pushed through a message. Actually, it's quite funny that I was doing for Aries at the time, and at the time it was the first time that their energy had come through, and it was just a general reading for Aries, and I didn't realize what it was at the time, but it was all actually leading up to the start of the pandemic, and they were really showing us massive changes that were about to occur, tower moments, false emperors falling all around. It was quite fascinating. And they took us through most of the pandemic, and then they just sort of like faded away, to be quite honest. I want to say in the last 1.5 to 2 years on my channel, and now they are here, and I could not feel more, I guess, in alignment with the urge to speak with the Oakmen. Their card is sitting here with the first zodiac that I'm about to do, and the sun is shining through the card and through their eyes. So here we are, my friends, and the long-awaited Oakmen. Hello Leo, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy, and the Oakmen. We are going to get right into the Shaman Oracle deck. We're going to see what messages the Oakmen have for you. It's shuffling really well. It's good. Woo! This deck is like flying. All right. Okay, Leo, message to you from the Oakmen. Messages to Leo from the Oakmen. There's something about this message that has to do with the underlying card is actually kind of a good way to describe it. It is finding the beautiful way. It's like finding the way in the most beautiful, like when I say way, it's finding your path, it's finding your direction, it's finding your purpose, and doing that in the most beautiful way, or taking the path that is the most beautiful path to get to this way. So the first card that came out was Thunder. As it's interesting, there's so many fives here. Well, this is like 56, 5 and 6. And then you have that come under this Thunder card. That's interesting. That's an interesting message. You have Taming the Wind, which is quite significant, right? Because the Thunder has all this like movement, disruption. It feels like impulse. I almost kind of feel like it's as if you're standing still, and all of a sudden this energy comes towards you. And this energy could be something that represents, like just a feeling of, could even be like anxiety or need to do something, or find the right path. Where is that? What should I do? What's the right course of action? And right, because taming the wind, it also feels like somehow moving yourself or removing yourself from either instances in the past. I keep saying path, right? That's funny. Instances in the path, maybe in your path, that cause you to react. Because I feel like with this thunder, like the only thing that you would really do is react. Like to have like a herd of buffalo coming at you like that, like every sense feeling completely overwhelmed, the earth shaking, the sounds, the wind, even this like too, like the wind that this causes. It's like this sudden energy that comes towards you, and then taming it, right? And then we have the 56, and then we have the 55, and then you have the beloved, and a 5, another 5, and then you have the journey. And it's something here about a path, a direction to go in, and finding the most beautiful way to get there. But it's not as if this path, like you pick this path and then it's just a perfect path, like there's daisies on one side and there's tulips on this side. And it's like the path itself isn't gritty or gravelly. It's just, like this cushiony, beautiful moss that you walk on barefoot. That's not the path, but it's like perhaps the story of the path, of this journey, whatever that represents for you, in itself, like as you're in it and you're occupying it, it could even feel like you're trying to tame the untamable. Like you're trying to control the uncontrollable. But I really think the really beautiful thing that comes through with this, though, is I feel like you are, because this is the underline, it as if to say you are on the most beautiful path that you have been on as of yet in this lifetime, or you were definitely taking the direction that is truly meant for you. When you look back on this much later in life, you'll realize it was maybe one of the more beautiful or profound experiences that you had. The beloved journey, I think that's so fascinating. The beloved journey. I do feel that, like, regardless of whatever is at the end of this path that you're on, it feels significant to a cycle that you're experiencing right now. Regardless of what is at the end of that, there's something here about truly finding shelter, finding love, finding stability. Stability seems important in this message. Finding that within yourself. Like you, the beloved, finding this within yourself. Because these two cards here, the thunder and taming the wind, it's like finding yourself in a storm. And how do you react in that storm, I think, too, is partly this path. How do you react in that storm? Because this is suddenly, I don't know if it's suddenly, it feels suddenly, perhaps. With the beauty way, like this is the beautiful path. This is, if it's wild winds and thunder, it doesn't really seem like a very healthy environment for something like this dragonfly to complete its metamorphosis and like fly up into its destiny, into its life, into its calling. So there's, right, like it's taming this thunder, it's taming this wind. The beloved's journey. I do feel like it almost feels like being perhaps feeling constantly, or maybe most of the journey up to this point has kind of felt like being in a hurricane or something very, very much associated with upheaval, unpredictability, chaos, confusion, reactive, instinctive inclinations. Like, just, what do? How do you, I don't know. It's fascinating. You're taming the wind, beloved one, on your journey. The journey is taming the wind. I feel like you're the beloved one in this reading. You are taming the wind in the journey. But the hard part about this, because I don't want to say like that this your path has suddenly become easier. I don't feel like it would do justice to whoever's story this is, because it does honestly feel like when I put these two cards together, like it's almost like she's looking at this approaching and like taming this. This is the wind. This is this energy. This is this an energy. Maybe it's thoughts or feelings that come over you. Maybe it's circumstances that happen to play out around you. I do feel like there's something to do with thoughts and feelings. But it's triggered by something in your environment that happens. And like she looks at this head on. She's looking at it head on. And I feel like wrapped around, like maybe it could even be suddenly, like, where did this come from? Because she's looking over her shoulder in this image, and like it feels like things are tightly bound around her, so like protecting herself, which is interesting too. The journey, this could almost be like looking at this figure now from the front before they look back and they see this coming at them. You see this coming at you, and it's taming it. This is your journey. It's taming it and finding the most beautiful way forward. And there's a real sense of nighttime too with this Thunder card. These could be things that come in the night, or they just could even be like dark thoughts in the night. I'm going to go to the Goddess deck and see what goes with these. Taming the wind, beloved one, on your journey. Look at this. There's a little bird coming in to land. Looks like to land on her head, doesn't it? And why? Because this bird is seeking shelter from the same wind. Like, it's as if the bird sees you. What the bird represents, to me, I'm going to show you how this happens. The bird represents some sort of birthing of your own intuition here. It is like some sort of connection with a part of yourself that you haven't fully tapped into, but it almost seems, because it's small in this image, you're going to watch it develop in a second here. It's almost smaller in this image, and it's trying to like take purchase, to land on here, like this rock, this solid post that this bird finds just at a time where everything is about to become chaotic and upheaved. And then look it's like now the bird has landed. You see that? Now the bird has landed, but now it is huge. So it's like when this connection takes place between some sort of far off, distant, because it now rests on the crown, and when it comes onto the crown, it becomes like almost larger than where this was finding purchase, where it was finding stability. So, and it does it right now. So it's actually looking at this figure after the storm. This is the storm approaching. And then you have the beloved. And what's kind of beautiful too is you can't really see what's going on with this person's arms in the taming of the wind. It just seems, actually I would say I'm going to let you look at it. And just like in my own understanding of human anatomy, and like it's like this, because just how quickly and directly the face is looking over the shoulder. It's not this, it's not that. It's, oh, so if something's being done and then suddenly looking away at this thunder that comes towards them. And the bird comes in to land. It is almost too even like spirit. The beloved too, it feels to me like, you know, the connection between you and divine and divinity. Like remembering your connection to that. Remembering too that you're not alone, because this figure is all alone until the bird lands. The bird hasn't landed yet, beloved. And then the bird lands, and look at how there's no distraction from the thunder that comes in. The thunder is not disrupting the journey. The journey is no longer disrupted by the thunder, which feels like strong thoughts and emotions here. But something drives them. Something is driving this herd of buffalo that represents these strong thoughts and emotions. And then this calm comes over, and it is literally, it's almost as if the bird is like, yes, this is where I'm meant to be, because it forms into the head. It's like these two become one. The bird lands, connecting the beloved one, you, to some sort of source here. And then the bird and the human become one. The bird and you become one. And this bird is representing to, like your crown chakra. And it takes flight. Guiding you, right? Guiding you without distraction. That's interesting. So I'm looking at the numbers on these cards, and oh yeah, even a 56 coming out to 11 or 1-1. And just before I sat down to do this reading, whoa, you guys are the 5. You are the 5th house. Astrologically, and right, I'm picking up all these 5s. There's a 5-6, there's a 5-5, there's a 5. And then I was looking at that and I was thinking, okay, I don't know why, but it's making sense now. That when I was looking at the Oakman card, it's a 4-7, it's a 47, and I was like, oh, okay, that's 1-1. It's 1. It's almost like 1. 1-1 becomes 1. Like it always just comes back into itself. Excuse me, you could make it 2, but it feels like I'm just feeling like 1-1. And there, the thunder is 1-1. It is the Oakman. It is the presence of the disruption that it sets you on your journey. And then the 5 and the 5, and this all feels like you, right? Like I said, the 5, the 5. And then here the journey is 1-1 again. The 2 and the 9, a 1-1. You become the thunder. But not to say that you disrupt other people, like this disrupts you, or you disrupt things around you. It doesn't feel like that. Just, oh, this is interesting. When I laid the cards down, they laid down like this. The order changed. Beloved, the beloved taming the wind and the journey. Now it almost feels like you become a story. Almost like somebody's talking about you. My beloved, taming the wind and their journey. I'm going to keep it like that. Beloved, the beloved, taming the wind, the journey. So it feels like you've maintained being the beloved in this. What tried to come out? Fortune. Assurance. So there could be some sort of assurance here of great fortune ahead for you. Have assurance and fortune. I'm still going to shuffle. The beloved one's story of taming the wind. The journey of that. It's fascinating. Yeah, it's almost like I would hear someone say, my beloved Leo's journey in taming the wind. thunder, beauty. Beauty and beloved have come out together this week a couple of times. Interesting. The 6, now it's completing your 5. The 5 and the 6, the thunder. There's the 6, the beauty. And the beloved, the 5 and the 6. What did I say? Like the beauty and the beloved have been coming out. These are from different decks, but they have appeared together. At least one other time. I feel like twice prior to this. The beauty, okay. And the beloved. Oh, iris communication. There you have 2-2, right? We're picking up on 1-1 and 2-2. And the 5 and the 6 are completing. The beloved's communication, taming the wind, the miracles, how they miraculously tame the wind. This is beautiful. And the journey, the creative spark. Wow, this is beautiful. The beauty of chaos. I don't know, like if this is like your deeper self, almost like describing you, somebody close to you describing you, some sort of ancestor or like sort of a guardian or angel or something. Because it does honestly feel like the beautiful chaos with the thunder and how Leo, the beloved, communicates and tames miraculously the wind through the journey of their creative spark. So that's fascinating. What is it that you're doing? The future. Ambition. Future illusion. The beauty way. It's finding the way. It is. It's finding the way into the future. But finding your way into the future is somehow connected to this beautiful chaos. But it's... I honestly, I don't want to, like, I feel like this chaos, this thunder that comes in, it doesn't feel beautiful when it comes in. But yet there's somehow you were able to tame this wind, miraculously tame it. This beloved. And then the journey that you take is very creative. It's finding inspiration in the chaos. It's finding inspiration in the chaos, but yet the chaos is your journey. And then the beautiful way, though. So perhaps your journey has been quite chaotic, and now your ambition is to future illusion. So is it to create some sort of illusion around yourself while you do something and you don't want people to know what you're doing? Or is it to dismantle illusions around you? The beauty and the beloved. These two create the thunder. And the beloved tames the wind. And the beauty becomes the catalyst towards the journey. You have beauty twice here, right? You have beauty way, and then you have beauty. It kind of makes me feel like too, you know, because it's almost like you're being told in a story somehow, and we even have communication. It's like being told in a story. And if you were, you know, to sit down with a good book and you were going to read a story, and you know how when you're reading a story, I get this anyways, some of you do. You start reading a story and, you know, everything's been really difficult for the hero or the heroine or the protagonist, whatever in the story. And they're coming to this point in time and you're like, oh yeah, I want everything to work out. I want everything to work out. And then it doesn't. Or something falls apart. And you're like, oh, but it keeps you reading. Like it keeps you, well, now what happens? Well, now what's going to happen? Or I find like in a book like that, it keeps pulling me in. It keeps pulling me in. But there's a part of me that says, no, I want everything to work out for them. I want it to be like perfect. But it's almost as if like that's kind of like your story. It's not really necessarily, well, at least up to this point, that, yeah, it feels like that. It feels somehow like you're a story. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, Leo, is I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, we're going into the Fairy Oracle deck, which is where the oak men come from. And we're going to see what fairy wants to communicate to you in the extended. It's just an open reading, just like this as well. Thank you so much, Leo. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.